Friends, I'm on the edge of Grizzly Peak waiting to rope drop. Want to film 2 videos, and then today is the day that I get to go see my doctor and hopefully that clean bill of health that my leg is back to kickboxing shape. Just joking, I've never kickboxed once in my life. I can't get my leg above my knee. The rope is officially down. The Jonas Brothers are playing in the background. Soon they'll be off to the races, and they're off to the running. The rope drop to catch vibes. My kind of people, raising those children right. I always have time to stop for this view. I love how it centers inside that archway. I noticed, don't worry, I noticed. Mission number 1, I need to record this week's Hey Brickey video. I've already done the research. I've already started to make my maps and graphics. But I want to break down to people that Coco could be way bigger than what you possibly think it's going to be. That's one of the comments I've seen. Oh, it's going to be so small. I don't think that's true. And I've also done a lot of study into one of the #1 fan concerns I've seen, and that is, will Coco mean the removal of parades permanently from Disney California Adventure? Don't worry. I've also studied that prospect too. Dug deep, looked into concept artwork. I think I might have picked up on a couple of details that no one else did. That video will be coming up tomorrow on the main channel, Hey Brickey. Make sure you comment on there, because I'm going to do another Read Your Comments videos, probably Monday or Tuesday of this week. And this time I'm going to go back to first comments, get my first attention, and I'll just roll through as many as I can in an hour. So if you have questions about parades or Coco, make sure you watch that video early, comment, and you'll definitely get a response from me. But don't go past the read more, which that has become controversial because everything does. I was accused of shitting on my audience because I wouldn't read the super long comments because, you know, I wanted to give everybody equal time and equal treatment. That's now shitting on your audience. Man, some people's perspective. I have nothing but respect for people that rope drop to do jump jelly. That's awesome. That's such a cool thing to do. Love it. All right, friends, I have arrived on set for Saturday's video. Goal is to get it done by 10 a.m. Wish me luck. Busy day today because my doctor wants to get out of work early on a Friday and took my 3:30 and moved it over to 2. Yes, doctors, so accommodating. Friends, this is easily one of the weirdest camera setups I've ever read. I wanted to make sure that I kept the streak alive, so I have my iPhone mounted on top of my professional camera so I can capture me each way, allowing me to walk out of the park, and if I happen to capture somebody that I don't want to be on film, I can just replace it with the other camera. Therefore, with all that being said, and probably something that only matters to me, what do you say we take a walk and talk out of the park, a 1-take vlog exiting Disneyland, going through downtown Disney over to the edge of Mickey and Friends. Sound fun? I hope so. That's all I got for you. Because earlier today, I filmed the Saturday video for Hey Brickey, and I also did a construction update for Sunday. Meaning I had to get something up for today. Don't want the streak to end. And this is what I came up with on the edge of leaving the park to go see my doctor to hopefully get the clean bill of health for my leg. I do wish that Ariel was like sculpted, right? Instead of just being flat like that. Let's move along. Let's take the high road. Less people, less noise. I have so much appreciation for this green space that separates you up on the walkway from the people that are in downtown Disney proper. It's a nice little thing that they didn't have to do, but it adds those vibes. I've spent a mini of post-shooting having a snack down there with that waterfall right behind me. Not only does it add a nice visual separation, but it helps out with the sound separation. So this park, kind of keeping two different worlds separated by distance, height, and sound. Love that. It's good to see that the main, or the center, entryway to World of Disney's back. I remember a time when you had to go in one way and come out the other. You guys remember that? Those COVID times where you had to literally go one way in and out of stores that had multiple exits. That was wild. We'll let these gentlemen pass so that I don't have a conversation just lurking behind me. Ah, here comes a fresh batch of Friday citizens of Disneyland. Oh, it's starting to look like a double rainbow. Yeah. Oh, sad to leave, but it is going to be a very, or let me say, it already has become a very busy Friday in the park. So feel like I got my fill. I mean, could always go for a little bit more, but was able to get a lot done in a small window of time due to my doctor's appointment, which originally was supposed to be at 3:30, but my doctor doesn't want to work late on a Friday. Waving, waving, waving. No. Hoping to get a little horn action. A small tribute to the champion. Can we get the guy in the caboose? The gal in the caboose? No, she's in her own world. We tried. All right, let's roll down this way over here as we circle around the backside. Now, we will be straight up in the downtown Disney chaos after a slight quiet reprieve. All right, not as crazy as I've seen it. The park's definitely crazier right now indoors. Trying my hardest to be polite with my filming on a one-take run with the dual cam rig. I must look like a maniac right now. Not the first time, not the last time. Let's go to the left. Let's see if we can find some of the dessert chefs doing their thing. Folks behind me pass a little bit while we check out the flowers. Nobody up on the upper decks there. Let's see what we can find over at the confectionery. All right, we've got any workers? No, not in that window. Excuse me. Oh, I see a family smiling. Yes. We have somebody. Oh yeah, look at that. Fantastic. I was telling Beth that oh, look at these. Look how pretty those bows are. I was telling Beth that I should try to make like a Disney candy apple at home. Like take one of the ones that they've created and try to remake it at home. And it would be like an episode of Nailed It. Because mine would obviously look so bad. And Beth pointed out, well, you know, they have all the proper tools to make them the right way. And I'm like, yeah, that's the idea. Mine will look like a crazy person made it. Can't go that way, it's too heartbreaking. I still miss Sprinkles cupcakes. Does anybody still get the crazy shakes? Whoa. Does anybody still get the crazy shakes from Black Tap? I remember that was like a thing, shake with a cake on top of it. But is that still something people do? I'm curious. Look at this. Just a little something missing from the horizon. You know, I'll always admit when I'm wrong, so I don't mind admitting when I got something right. But I remember a video a long time ago that just on my own I said, I mean, obviously they're taking Tortilla Joe's away. And I remember somebody being like, how do you know they didn't announce this? I'm like, bro, read the tortillas. Of course they're going to take it away. That building was so cartoony, so weird looking. There's no way they're going to let that stand the test of time. And lo and behold, I got a little bit nervous when they were just doing like, you know, the subtle removing of pieces. I'm like, oh no, don't reframe it. It's such a hellhole. But they ended up taking it out. Another Disneyland Forward prediction accurate. You know, don't worry, I'm going to get a lot of them wrong. But I'm enjoying the hot streak while I got it. But you really realize how big this building was when you just walk around these boards instead of an actual set dress building. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Get a little peek in there. It's just a concrete flat spot. All right, let's see what pins we get here, or pennies. Man, I learned their names for a video that I recently did, and I know hers, but Marigold, I don't know their names. I don't know their name. All right, put me in Disney character jail. Threading the needle there, trying to be a polite citizen of Disneyland. Look at that thumbs up pic. I love that. All right, let's keep moving. Another flash from the past. You remember when we were so excited that the Star Wars trading post showed up and that we had that for the first time? I mean, that was like peak getting back to old times. We had a new project, we had a new opening. That was one of those moments where something that's in today's world would feel so small felt so epic because of everything else that was happening around us. The new Earl of Sandwich back there on the far end, all scripted up. Going to be multi-level with like a British bar on the top floor. And I'm excited to hear that Funko is coming to this building over here. That's the type of stuff I think downtown Disney could use. Like things like Funko where, you know, it adds a sense of entertainment and interaction because their Hollywood store has a lot of really cool set pieces. But yeah, they are really stretching the budget on this to kind of keep it the same building, but make it a little different. And I just realized I'm definitely gonna have to edit this video because of prints. All right, I'm back. Also wanted to be polite and kill the camera as I walk through security. It is so crazy how little bit of space that they use inside of the old Rainforest Cafe for the Star Wars Trading Post. Like insane. They only use, I think, the front, maybe 15 to 20% of that building. It's massive. I believe right here is the only other spot where we can get as close to the monorail height as we do in front of the Mighty Matterhorn. Now in front of the Mighty Matterhorn, they're just lower, so the Matterhorn looks nice and tall. But here, oh, they are low. They are little low boys because they're up on this ravine, and then each one gets a little bit bigger as it has to go over to create its span over Disneyland Drive. You can also see the curvature of the track. Like the monorail leans this way. Typically it stays flat like north and south, but you do feel it rotate a little bit east and west. And then we got folks up on the platform waiting to take it into the park. All the time, people, when they're looking at Disneyland Forward and various different projects, they go, oh, wouldn't it be great if the monorail stopped inside of DCA? And really, the only way they could do that would add like a ton of complexity. Because if you think about it, the monorail at Disneyland is actually an attraction, not transportation. Because you have to have a theme park ticket and also a reservation to ride it. So if it stopped in the DCA, you'd have to have like a cart that was for DCA guests only, or cars for DCA guests only. And if it was in the silly morning hours between 8 and 11, nobody would be able to park hop. But in the afternoon, people would be able to park hop, but you'd have to figure out who has a park hopper and who doesn't. So for like so many reasons, whenever people go, oh, I would love for them to put a stop in DCA, I'm like, man, it would be one of the most complicated things ever for them to figure out just internally. And then the confusion that would lean over to the guests. Well, you can't get out of the monorail before 11, but you get in this one if you have a park hopper, but you can only get in this cart if you don't have a park hopper. Like, the logistics would be absolutely insane. And I am making content out of nothing. Here is the area that aligns with the very busy Bayou country. If there's ever an expansion of Disneyland, a bridge or whatnot to bring you over, that will be the spot. All right, don't want to be rude. There's somebody right behind me. So we'll take the low path. And that way, she can go about her business and I can go about my business. I'm not being rude to somebody who's been working all morning. Okay. We are now taking the lower level, which I have to say I don't mind because the grade kind of grades on me. I think I'd rather just go up 2 flights of steps and just get it all over with at once than slowly feel like I'm walking uphill. But this is an indication of kind of what it's going to be like when the Eastern Gateway shows up. And you have to walk over a massive land bridge that will be even higher than this one. Because this bridge connects with the parking garage on the 2nd floor. The new land bridge appears to be on the 4th or 5th, maybe the top of the garage, because you'll have to go over the top of the monorail. So it's definitely going to be a lot steeper than the one we have here today. I love these trees that Disney uses as basically a fence. So yeah, that grade is just to go to a bridge on a 2nd floor. Huh. Imagine what that grade is going to be like when we're coming off a 3rd or 4th floor. Because look, there goes a box truck. A bridge minimally by federal law has to be 16 feet high on the expressway system so that tractor trailers can go across the country and fit under every overpass in the freeway system. But that monorail is way higher than 16 feet because it's also going to need a clearance space. So definitely going to be interesting to see how that all works out. All right, let's see. Are there people on the bridge? We're pretty good. A couple ahead of me. Nobody close behind me. We can do this. But how cool is it going to be when you're walking across? Oh, look. The tiniest McDonald's. Just imagine the monorail. Just imagine the monorail cruising underneath us right now. Oh, I'm going to fill up so many hard drives with that top-down monorail footage because this will be the first time that I can think of that I've ever been able to capture that. All right. Quiet, everybody. Here it comes. The chariot. Ooh, look at it go. Slow and steady with its slightly tilted roof so that rain runs down in that little gutter that goes around its outer perimeter and then drips out the drainage system and not on the guest. Look at that. Let these folks pass. Man, just look how green everything is today. For a long time, these escalators have not been working. And it is very annoying when you get over there and not. It gives you an idea of how windy it is today. But the sun has come out and it has become a beautiful, beautiful day at the Disneyland Resort. All right, let's take our escalator down. Our sign-off point will be Mickey and Friends Parking Garage. Oh, friends, I had a good visit. Breakfast over at Smoke Jumpers. Filmed a video about Coco and the parades and all the stuff that people were worried about with Disneyland Forward and the announcement of Coco. Did a construction update, which also Has a couple of good little vibe spots for your Sunday morning. And rolling out of here at 1 o'clock, giving myself more than enough time to go to my, hopefully, final doctor's appointment. If I can get my clean bill of health. I mean, I would hope so. I've already done a lap around both parks and now walked out of downtown Disney. So I think I'm all right, but I just want to spend the $85 and have him tell me I'm all right. So I can say I officially got a clean bill of health, but maybe also get some ideas of like, hey, here's things to look out for or things to be cautious of. All right. We'll let these folks pass. There's going to be a sea of people coming our way, but we'll look back at this area and just keep in mind that at some point that new parking garage will be even bigger than the one that's behind me. That's going to be wild how big that thing will be. Although I am surprised they're doing it in 2 stages. I love the tram. So simply designed, so efficient.
Alright, driver, your tram is empty and your tram is now clear.
There you go. Honk that horn. Honk that horn. Remember when you could just load and unload right here? Those days are gone. I recently saw a family that showed up in the morning and they like went over in front of the sign to take a photo. They didn't realize it was the tracks of the transportation. All the customers were like, you got to get off the road. They had no idea what they were trying to tell them. Oh man, another one of my favorite international guest moments where there's this group of guys who were on the tram and they kept telling them, this is not going to take you to Disneyland. And they didn't get off. They just kept riding it, thinking that eventually it was going to like pull them into the park. And so they had to call over the radio for a cast member that could explain to them in their native language that they had to actually get off to go in the park. Well, friends, it may not have been the best video. It may not have been my best work, but you know what it was? Consistent work. And showing up and keeping the habit is better than making excuses like, oh, it's too hard today. Because once you start doing that, you're already done. I hope you enjoyed our bizarre walk and talk out of the park. And trust me, I'll see you tomorrow with a fully produced video or on the main channel and a fun construction update here on Sunday. I appreciate you giving me grace to cut a couple corners. I don't do it all the time, but when I do, hopefully you enjoy the creativity I put into the idea of how do I just get it done in the amount of time and the amount of space I have in today's schedule. Thank you for showing up. If you made it this far, you're one of the true psychos, and I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow on the main channel. Goodbye, everybody. This is what the setup looked like that I was just walking through the park with. Whatever it takes to get the job done. I am committed.